to all. I'm going to just press my button. And so especially welcome, of course, to Lisa, who is with us on what is for her, hers Saturday evening. We've got Adrian, who's with us, who's helping us. He is one of the board members for the Calgary European Film Festival. So the Calgary European Film Festival has just finished, and one of the movies then that we were able to see was the Swedish movie, The Emigrants. And it's based on the books by Vilhelm Moberg, 4 books between 1949 and 1959. And still it's a movie which feels remarkably current in today's world. That's what I kept thinking when I saw it. I kept thinking, you know, it just feels like it's well, so current with current issues. And then what's so fantastically exciting about this adaptation is that we get to see it through Christina's eyes.
Exactly.
And I have a big pet topic, which is, you know, we need to write women back into history. So I thought this was amazing.
That was one of those.
Yeah, and it's a powerful story, technically really interesting with the light, and then your performance, amazing. It blew me away, and I'm so glad we get to now ask you about it because I know I have tons of questions. So yeah, so we have a couple of practicals. You can ask questions, and we would like you to ask questions to Lisa. And Adrian, so you should put up your hand when you want to ask the question. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
If you look on your Zoom screen there is a thing called reactions. And there you can, if you press that button, reactions, you can raise your hand. And then Adrian will let you in. You can also put your questions in the chat if you want, and I'll sort of monitor the chat. And yeah, I think that's it. So feel free to go ahead. And I think I'll start while we wait.
Yeah, sure.
So tell me, how long did it take to film this movie?
Yeah, approximately 2 months, a little bit more. We recorded most of it in Sweden. On the West Coast, we were there for 2 months, and then we were a very, very small time, like 1.5 weeks in Romania, in like a big outdoor studio for these scenes when we are like coming to New York, going in the streets of Taylor Falls. Those parts were recorded there, but otherwise mostly in Sweden.
My home country is Romania. I'm curious.
Oh,
what made you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So only 2 months. That really surprises me. I don't know what I thought. I thought like 6 months or.
Yeah, but then when that is said, we did have 1 extra day to go to film it when it was snow, because you get the year feeling when you watch the movie. So we filmed when the summer was nearly over. So it was still hot, but then the autumn came, and then we took 1 day, filmed the winter scene, and that's why you get this feeling that it covers the whole year.
It is amazing, and the light. I was thinking, and I couldn't quite figure out whether it's just natural light or whether it's actually in black or white. It is the natural light.
And that is a very good question, because that was a very, very big thing for the director and the photographer to talk about, because he wanted to have natural lights, and to be able to do that, it really, you need really good locations. So that's why they choose this place, for example, for by the Kishisaga Lake, when they live in the end of the movie. It was a beautiful space, because it had to have so much air around it to be able to get so much light out of it. So that was the tricky part for them to figure out how to do that.
And so for you, so I was trying to think. So I guess you get your script, right? You get sort of like the paper. How on earth do you go from that to what you did in the movie? Because you lose a child, you give birth to a child, you're sick. I mean, it's all these sort of huge emotions and huge scenes. How did you make her come alive for you?
Sorry, I was just a little bit hot here.
Yeah.
Just taking it much better. Yes, that is a very good question. How do you make the script come alive? I guess it's both having faith in the director and in also all the other team members, the people who can help you with all the things, your fellow players, and also in the story, to trust that this will be good enough, and also to trust yourself. But it is a big thing, and we also had a long preparation for this. I was for a very long time, I was, eating different. I was training with language, and also like different, like how they washed clothes in the old days, and so it was a very long time to like dig into this era and to the life then.
No, it's spectacular. I'm thinking it's both getting the sort of the time right, like you say, and then the character, Christina. What was she? How different was it to act Christina from what you have done previously?
It was very different. I never did a movie set in another time. So that was a big thing, also because we also improvise a lot, and then it's very difficult because you can't use your own language, because we use so many different words today, or we touch each other in another way that they didn't do in the 18th century, and it was so many things that was like little restrictions that you had to learn along the way, and how are you with the kids and stuff like that. So but it was fun, and we learned along the way. But I also guess that is why the movie feels so alive, because it's the script, and then it's mixed with a lot of improvisations and playing around, also with the camera, and the director set us very free. He just built the frames, and then we should just act within the frame. So it was not a setup, it was very how we wanted it to be, and then the camera followed.
Did you read the books?
Of course, yes.
So, I remember I read them, but it's a long time ago. But
they are really good. You should read them again. Wilhelm Moberg is an amazing author, and of course, the books. I did read the books, but I didn't use them as much. I know Gustav used it a lot for the Karl-Oskar character, but for me, it was very important that my Christina came from myself, and also, as you say, this is a more modern movie, that it was also something else. It was not only the books. This was another story about her, and it's a story about today, right? About this immigrants woman today. So it had to be a little bit different.
It was interesting. I kept thinking about it. So it's about her, and yet he decides, right? It's it's about her, and then it is he still decides. What a life they lived. Amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, so hard, right? We can't start to imagine, and if we would live there, we would die immediately.
And then I know one of my books was set in the 1850s, and
oh really?
The thing that really sort of struck me when I was writing it, what was this, that how fragile, how tenuous it was. The barn burns down, right? And that's it, your life is over.
Totally.
How very, very fragile.
And also how many skills they had. I mean, he could do everything, she could do everything. They could from nothing make food, make clothes, make
a house
with only their hands. We don't have those skills anymore either.
No. And what was do you have a favorite scene in the movie that is
good question. Do I have a favorite scene? I really enjoyed recording the scene when he comes with a letter that says that like when he says, I want to go to America. That is like one of the first scenes in the movie, I think. I really enjoyed doing that scene because we were sitting still. And then we were able to play and, just, be with each other as actors. Otherwise, it was so much running around, kids, animals, boats, blood, extras. It was crazy. So this was just, we could just concentrate on acting.
What was the hardest scene to record? I mean, there's a few pretty tough ones.
For me, it was carrying the kids down the small steps down the boat and all the luggage and those extremely big wooden shoes that we were wearing. Like the clothes were also very authentic. So that was really tough.
Yeah. Is there a scene that you ended up not liking?
No, I mean, like the funeral for Anna, I thought that was, when we were recording it was a lot of women with those white things, and it was very beautiful and quite magic, but I don't think that is in the movie. So that didn't really, like, he chose to cut it differently. So that is not like a part of it. So I thought that was more spectacular than it came across when it was, but
it's hard. See, I cried and cried. This
you did,
I cried. It's hard.
It's a sad story.
It is a sad. It's a sad story, and at the same time, it's kind of hopeful, isn't it? It's and I love how she talks about home. What is a home, and how do we sort of create a home beautiful? Yeah.
That was very important for Eric to get that message across, that home was something that I mean. Also, I also want to say something that in the books, Christina is like talking a lot about God, and then that she's like can't find her God, but then in our book, like she can't find herself. So that is also like to search for a home or to search for yourself. I mean, a place to land.
Yeah. No, it was incredibly beautiful. And I'm assuming yes, but did the role of Christina teach you something? Did you sort of walk away with something new for yourself?
I mean, I guess that I can walk away and be very happy and grateful for living in these times, because her times was so extremely hard. So in that way, it teaches me to, maybe appreciate my life even more. But I don't know if I learned something else. And also but I mean, because it's such a big part and such a big production, I also learned to trust myself more. It gave me a better self-esteem as an actor. It has been a beautiful and really, really amazing journey through it all.
Is she similar to you, Christina, or is she?
But I guess she is. It's funny that you say it, because when they were asking me for a casting, first I got really shocked, because I thought, my God, if they're asking me for casting, that means this actually could be true, that I could portray her. And that thought was just mind-blowing. And then in the next second, I was asking myself, but do I believe that I can do that? And then I said, yes. So I guess there was something in me that said, yeah, but I have something of her in me, but I can't really say what. But I did understand her, and also that she had been with me throughout my life, because when I was a kid, we were watching, these movies and read those books in school, and those pictures are iconic of, Anna's red shoes standing there, Kristina and Karl-Oskar fighting, and but a lot of things. And so I had been like carrying her around, I guess, without thinking about it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful image. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think you will sort of do next? Do you know what projects you're going to work on next, or
Yeah. Actually, I have a premiere tomorrow on romantic comedy.
Oh, fantastic.
It's so fantastic that it's like so different, right? And I'm really happy about it. Yeah. So I will go to Stockholm tomorrow and have a premiere, and it's like an ensemble movie. You know, all romantic comedies are about a single looking for love. So that's of course, it's what it's about. So she's looking for the one, and maybe she finds him at the end.
That's so exciting. I think I've seen it's being advertised, isn't it? I think I've just seen the publicity for it. Could that be true?
Maybe it's going to be shown in cinemas here, and then it's going to be on Viaplay.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, well, that's brilliant.
Yeah, we'll see. It's very Swedish. So yeah.
And how many of these projects do you sort of do per year or
right now, not that many. I could totally have more things going on. Right now, it's a little bit a down period because in Denmark, a lot of those like Netflix, HBO, Viaplay, all those, they have like left Denmark for productions because they have some problems with some money problems and taxing that. So all the production stopped in whole Denmark. So it's a quite big problem right now. But I hope it comes back because we need to work.
Yeah. And you also you also work as a translator, which I thought was really interesting. So how is that how does that combine, or did that happen?
Yeah, I actually I only did that quite a long time ago because I really loved the book by Tennessee Williams, The Night of the Iguana. And I played it in theater school and I really, really loved it. And when I came back, because I went to a Russian theater school in Denmark.
Wow.
Yes. And then when I came back to Sweden, I thought, oh, maybe I can use this text now in Sweden if I should have a casting or something. And then I found the text and it wasn't good. It was very poor translated. So then I thought, okay, then I have to translate it. So then I did that. So that was like a little mission of mine because I loved it so much. And that was so much fun.
Yeah, and hard, I imagine, because I it's almost like writing the book again, isn't it? Because it's yeah.
But I had some help of some really cool people who are, linguists, because I can't do all those things by myself. So but I did most of it, and then I had some people that can help with the finish.
That's so great. So I'm going to open up to questions from all of you. So put up your hand and put your questions in the chat, or yes. Oh, hold on, you're still muted. Wait, we're going to see.
So I cannot unmute, but I can ask to unmute, and I'm asking you to unmute.
Okay.
No, that 5.
Okay, so I just wanted to say my name is Mila and I'm the librarian for the Swedish Society in Calgary. And we have most likely all the 4 novels that were used to film this movie.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the movie because it wasn't just about emigration, but also about friendship, like between you and that crazy lady there. I can't remember her name.
Ulrika.
Ulrika, that's right. And it was a real nice thing to follow the friendship and what happened in the end and so on.
Yeah.
And also in a way, it was also like you could feel that you guys were trying to start fighting for women's rights, to go to school, to read and write and so on. So that was very, very interesting. But I was going to ask you, did you translate all the 4 novels of Wilhelm Muber? Or?
Me?
Yeah, all
No.
the 4. Oh, you
I
did,
mean,
you did.
he's Swedish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but I mean, you said something that you were translating when you went to Sweden. You didn't like the translation, so you had
that
to
was The Night of the Iguana by Tennessee Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah. So no,
By
Wilhelm Muber's books are in
Tennessee.
Swedish.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, they are, of course.
yeah.
But I thought maybe they were written in
Yeah.
Russian. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Okay. No, and I really enjoyed the show. It was the film. It was really, really great. And, you know, thanks to Adrian and Beatrix and Camelia and so on. It's great to have this in Calgary. I saw another movie actually that was Spanish on the closing day on that Sunday. It was excellent too. So those 2 movies really were great.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice to go to a film festival and watch nice movies. I miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I don't have any, you know, I probably have a million of questions, but I'm going to think about it if it's a real question. But yeah, I was just asking about the translation because I do translations as well. I used to do. I was working for a translation bureau here in Calgary, but the lady closed it down, moved to Mexico. So
okay, wow. Yeah. Thank you.
It's great to meet you via Zoom. And,
you too.
It's like really interesting.
Yeah, I look different, I guess.
Well, yes, not as worn out and tired, because your role was pretty hard there in the movie.
Yes, but it was, I mean, it was not hard making it. It was just, I mean, of course, it is very hard making a movie, but it was just very, very amazing and pleasant. And I feel that I'm so lucky to be able to portray such a strong portrait of a woman, because not many people get that opportunity.
But you portrayed somebody who was really tired and going through a lot
of course.
Yeah, that was great.
If I may, so please ask questions, keep asking. I have another one, which is the scene on the boat.
Yeah.
What the storm? How on earth was that recorded? Great.
Yeah. Well, that is a really good question. We went out on a real boat.
I thought, I wondered.
Yeah, with 80 extras. And the sea, they went out when this, like the old sea, when it's like huge waves and like this, you know, and then everybody started to puke. Like all 80 extras was like, and it was crazy. It was like mayhem, and the boat was not that big.
Yeah,
it was just
I was wondering.
I was because I also feel very seasick. I knew that, so I had some like a plaster. I had some pills to like prepare, so I could be able to play, which was really, really lucky that I was not sick. But those extras were so cool. So, you know, after puking a whole day, we came back to the shore and they were like, okay, see you 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, what? With your kids, with everything. You're insane. You really want to be in a movie. They were
that's too
cool.
funny.
Yeah, but it was spectacular. I would say that is like one of the coolest things from the shoot is the boat, because it was so like rough but beautiful and just amazing.
Yeah, you try and imagine going across the ocean on this, right? Which people obviously did
for weeks
and
months.
Just remarkable.
It is insane. I actually, now when we had the premiere in Norway, they had a replica from the real first boat going from Norway to New York. I mean, this route that they were traveling, and it was half the size of the boat that we were recording from, and that was transporting like 56 people to New York. And then when they came to New York, they were 57 because one of the women had given birth on the ship, and everybody survived. That was a beautiful story. Yeah. So that was, I mean,
Wow.
that was one of the lucky ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You wonder how many didn't make it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was something like 1 million people emigrated, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, over 1 million, which if you look at Sweden's population at the time was massive.
It was massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when I talk to people, like there are so many people who has relatives. Oh yeah, they moved, or like so many people who has people who moved or knew someone, or I mean it's still very common.
Yeah. We had to my family. I know an uncle of my granddad's went. Yeah. So it is true. It is a lot of people.
Yeah, it is like so America and Sweden do have like a very tight story in that way, connected.
Yeah.
And I think there is a museum in New York where they listed all the names of the Scandinavian immigrants.
Oh,
so you can locate your relatives. Actually, I can't remember the name of it, but they do have big lists with all the names, because I went there with somebody who's Polish, and they actually were able to see the names as well. So
wow.
they of the family who emigrated years ago.
Yeah, because everybody has to be registered when they came to right, in New York.
Yeah. And most of them, so there was a huge Swedish child colony in Minnesota, I guess.
Actually, you know what? One interesting thing is I have a friend whose last name is Moberg, and I call him Herr Moberg in Swedish. I tease him. He doesn't speak Swedish. He's second generation, but his dad spoke Swedish and his mom was Swedish.
Really?
And his
oh my God. Maybe it's his relatives.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know. But he has a lot of siblings. I think there were no girls, but there were 5 boys in that family. So he's one of the 5 children. But he was born, of course, in Winnipeg, and his first name is Doug. Douglas Edward.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
How are you?
So we're on a Zoom call interviewing. Do you have a question?
Yeah. Lisa just invited me.
Oh, there's somebody there.
What is Zoom meeting about? Lisa just invited me.
Oh, I can't really hear. I'm sorry.
Lisa Carlhead invited me. He said bomb you guys. Well, I'm here to bomb you guys. Bomb this Zoom meeting. You guys ready? You guys ready to get Zoom on?
I don't understand.
It's hard to hear you. Something's happening.
Yeah, something's going on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's suddenly more people are coming in.
Morgan.
Okay.
Can you mute everyone, Adrian?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
And then we because I wonder if we have actually been hacked. If you look in the chat, can that be true? Yes.
It seems like it.
Yes. How interesting. That's never happened to me before.
Morgan.
I've heard about it, but I didn't actually know.
You're laughing.
Yeah,
You're laughing,
I'm
bro.
trying to, but I can't actually remove them. I don't know what's going on.
No, they have to leave on their own. So.
Oh, is that how it
actually
works?
remove them. You can actually kick them out.
So.
You can kick them out.
How can we kick them out?
Yeah, just give me a second. Okay.
Go to the participants and then you can remove the names that are bothering.
Not even mute all that works now. So there's something weird.
Yeah, just mute.
Okay, now it works.
Well, so this is exciting for you, Lisa. So would you like us to, oh, now it seems to be okay, right? We're good.
I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow, that's never happened to me before.
All right. Yeah, there's another 5 people in the waiting room, but I'm not letting anybody else in.
No, let's keep it. Let's keep it. That's so interesting. Really interesting. I'm glad we didn't. I've heard horror stories about what can happen when people hack. So that
Really?
seems to have been a pretty benign version.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. So what do you do when you're not working on a project? How do you sort of, what does your life look like? How do you combine with family and kids?
Yeah, so I have 2 kids, and my husband is a theater director, and when they were smaller, he was away a lot working, and now I have been away a lot working, so we take turns a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that, and I've also been lucky that it's always been working out that now it's my turn, or you can go. So, because we don't have families in the city where we live.
Yeah, yeah.
So otherwise, well, what do I do right now? I'm training crawl for a new movie in Sweden that I will do next year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so, it must be super exciting, this with being an actress, the amount of things you get to try out, the new things
that
you
is
have
really
to
cool,
sort of
though.
learn. Yeah.
That now you have to get an extra skill.
Yeah.
For example, for Christina, I could learn like proper what is it called? To speak Swedish without an accent.
Oh,
I mean, that was
yes.
really a big thing for me because I'm from the opposite side of Sweden than almost all the other actors. So that took a long time to do it, like without thinking about it, because you have to train so hard that like when you're playing, you're like thinking about something else, and then you suddenly maybe say how you would say it when you were a kid or something, and then I would have a different dialect. So that was a big thing for me to get that skill. And yeah, it is lovely to be able to force yourself a little bit out to the unknown, and try different things.
How did you do that? The sort of the accent thing, do you have a teacher in it, or I'm thinking, because even hearing it is not obvious.
No, so I was learning not to have an accent.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, we had like sessions very often, like a few times a week, maybe it was every other day for like 3 months. That was a big job, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy about it after now, because now I know it, and now I can use it, in other movies, and it's a very good skill to have.
Yeah. Wow. And now crawl.
No, crawl.
Yeah. Any more questions?
I had a question, actually. I don't. After watching the movie and looking it up, I noticed that there was another movie based on the same book in 1971. I didn't get to watch that, but I know the actress Liv Ullmann from Bergman's movies, and I was wondering if you have watched, and if you tried to use something from her way of playing into yours.
No, but this movie from the 1971 is an amazing movie, and it's like it's a movie that everybody in Sweden loves. So that's why it also has been very difficult for the producers to, like, now we want to introduce a new Emigrants. People are like, why? We have like a masterpiece here. Why would you destroy a masterpiece? So what Erik Poppe wanted with this version was not to do a remake of the movie or to make an adaptation of the books. This was to make a new story, and a story, as you say, from Christina's eyes.
Yeah.
And how would we tell this story today? Well, we will tell it about this, how she goes from an immigrant to an emigrant. Did I say that correct, or the opposite?
Yeah.
Oh, I never managed. Yeah.
So that is the big thing. So I think what we did is like adding to the story of the books or the other movie. This is just adding. It makes Christina's journey bigger. It makes her person broader, or we get more information of her. So we're not trying to like do something instead of the others, or like trying to be better or something like that. I mean, it was a masterpiece, and it will always be, and it's beautiful, and you should see it. It's just something else. This is just the story.
No, I did look it up. I just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we might have that original movie from 1971 in the library. I have to double check.
Yeah, you probably
we're getting a new television set, so it's going to be great, because last time we had our movie night, we couldn't see any movies. It wasn't working. So now they are buying a TV. So, I invite you next time, like Cecilia and so on, and the others. Next time we have a movie night, I invite you to come, because it's probably going to be working. Yeah,
that sounds great. Yeah.
And we could even watch that movie too.
Yeah.
We have actually quite a few DVDs and Blu-ray movies. So yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
And another thing I was really impressed with, I mean, as you said, or somebody said, the movie is quite contemporary, even though it's from almost 200 years ago. So another thing that impressed me was how it depicted the intolerance between the religious groups. They're two Christian-based groups, so it makes it even worse. But they were behaving like the other one was the Antichrist or something. And I was wondering if that was in the books, or it was something that the director particularly wanted to insist on, just because it's very contemporary issue, this hate between religious groups.
Yeah, I think it might be in the books a little bit. I mean, those characters would exist in the books, but not in that way. So definitely the director here has like written as you say, a story in that would suits a problem that he would like to underline, or like put focus on how you are being radicalized when you go away from your country, and to try to keep your own religion as that it could go into a radicalization like that. So that, I guess, that he wrote himself.
And that too feels very current, doesn't it? The sort of, and it's interesting almost, they come to America and there's all these freedoms, and then you still have to impose rules on yourself. And sort of for how you're going to sort of live. It's quite interesting. Yeah.
I also guess that, or at least what I've heard, that a lot of those like churches, maybe even they exist now, that they are very
strict, or
very strict, and that the background are from these days, that is like these people, I don't know, Ireland and Sweden, and
and they still keep to their customs from 200 years ago.
And it's almost like it becomes stronger. I think we sort of see, and maybe I see it even on myself moving somewhere else and live, that your Swedish traditions become even more important almost than they were ever when you were sort of back home. It becomes it's part of this home that she talks about. How do you sort of root yourself somewhere else?
And also, when you can't be a part of the society, like how can you find yourself? I mean, that's her. She is just isolated with her sorrow, or like all the things that she misses.
Yeah. And the apple tree is such a beautiful
I know.
metaphor. Yeah, yeah.
It's a little bit biblical in the end, almost like the man and the woman and the apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eva and Adam.
Yeah. Any more questions, anyone?
Well, no, I don't think so. Not at this time.
But I've got one more, which is so what are your dreams? Sort of looking ahead on your career, and you've done this magnificent role now. If you could act anything or sort of do anything, what would it be?
Woo! Yeah, but I do love movies about set in another time, or like
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that. Epoch film, like,
period
film.
Period.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah, period. Yeah, period. I do love period movies, and I do love love stories, and also sad love stories. So I guess like a big period sad love story movie. I would love to.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds really exciting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I was just going to ask, so if I Google your name and your last name, probably I'm going to get a list of the movies you've been in.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to see if some of them are available.
We will see them all.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see what's available on my platforms. I don't have all of them, but I do have Netflix, of course.
Then
so,
I will recommend you to see a movie called In Your Arms.
Oh, okay.
It's really nice. It was like my first
one of your first ones
in a feature. It's really nice. I went across the world with this one on many festivals.
Oh,
it's really
nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
In Your Arms.
Yeah. In Your Arms, yeah. Okay, I wrote it down. Thank you. Because I love watching movies. I like going to theaters because it's a different atmosphere. You meet your friends. And you know, it's completely different than watching on an iPad or something.
Yeah. It's a very nice art house film.
Yeah.
And how did you get on with your husband in the movie?
Gustav.
Mr. Skarsgård, yes.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah.
From the first, I went to a casting with him. Well, actually, I can tell you this. I went to a casting for Christina many years ago, also playing with him, and it was so fun and so amazing. And then I didn't get the part. I came in second. I was like, this cannot be true. It was my role this time. But then the movie didn't happen. So the director that was supposed to do that movie moved, and the project was put on ice. And then they were going to do this movie again with a new director, and it was the Norwegian director Ekback. And then they called me again and asked if I wanted to come to a casting again. I said, yes, I could come, but I'm not going to be coming as number second. No, but then I got to play with Gustav again, and I don't know, I guess we're just perfect for these parts. I instantly liked him a lot, and it was so nice to play with him, and it was something that we really understood this kind of characters, and the love they had for their family, and the connection was so strong, and it just felt very naturally.
And the children, I mean, they're also really impressive. Yeah,
they were so nice.
Yeah.
And Kerstin, who was supposed to be our daughter, it was actually supposed to be another girl playing, and she jumped off the project the day before we were supposed to film. And then they came with this beautiful girl, and now she's, I think, becoming a big star in Sweden, because now she's playing Ronja in the new movie.
Oh wow, that's a big role.
And now she's like, woo! Yeah. So this is really nice. Yeah,
that's so exciting.
The scene when you almost lose her at the train station is heartbreaking.
Oh,
the
yes.
train supposed
Yeah.
leaving,
and in the forest.
Yeah. Ush.
Yeah.
And she was amazing, because she was actually she was actually the one who had like the most days apart from me, so she was actually the person that I should play with the most. and that was, I was a little bit worried before, because that she'd play with a child for like almost all scenes. It was like, oh, what if we don't like each other? What if she's not good? But she was amazing. So she made me be a better Christina.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So do those children get any education how to act, or are they just improvising? Oh, that's great. Yeah. It's so
and then
great.
if you're lucky and if you do have a talent, you can tap into something, as she actually did during filming. But the small kids, they are just
they're just themselves.
Find them when they are
oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and I loved all the performances. Your performance was fantastic, of course. The children too, and Carl Gustav was not too bossy, so he was okay.
No, he was nice also. Yeah.
He was very nice. Yes.
Amazing. Any more questions?
No, just thank you for submitting this movie to the
and for coming to talk to us. Absolutely fantastic. And we hope you win many prizes on the back of this.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Sorry we missed Carl Gustav.
Oh yeah, he should have been there as well. Yeah. I agree.
Well, then we wish you a happy Saturday night, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.